In this section, we'll find out what's coming out of your mouth on social media. We've got some of your replies to our question online when we asked which 3 acts would you choose to headline Download, because it's a hot topic. Everyone's got thoughts on this, and you certainly satisfied our question. There was a lot of replies on Facebook, actually, which we've got to choose from here.
Do you know what? I'm just scrolling through now, and fuck me, yeah, there's a few.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, everyone's got thoughts on this. Katie Smith wants Alice in Chains, Guns N' Roses, and Metallica to headline.
Oh, I'd love Metallica to play again because I've never seen them.
I haven't.
They are. I mean, whilst a lot of people do bang on about how good Metallica are, there's a reason for it. And I know, obviously, not seeing them before, it's one of those bands that I would love to see. Dave, you saw them at Twickenham, didn't you?
Yeah, they were really good there. I'd love to see Alice in Chains because even though they've been going, since the early 90s, now that they've had a bit of a hiatus, obviously, once the singer died, but now their new singer pretty much sounds like 99% the same. And they're still banging out some classic tunes.
Raymond Turpin wants Parkway Drive, Green Day, and AC/DC to headline.
I'd love that. You've got such variety in that, and I think that'd be amazing. Obviously, AC/DC, the last time they headlined, this was mentioned on Those Damn Crows podcast with Andy Coppin as well. It was well documented that AC/DC brought their own stage, and they had 2 stages in the main arena where, like, side by side, where the main stage would be. There was 2 stages, which I just think that's incredible.
The only thing I've got about that is Brian Johnson, wasn't he told to stop performing, otherwise he'd go deaf? And that's why he retired, or something like that. That's what I heard. I don't know where I heard that or read that, but that's...
I'm not sure if they had to cancel a few shows a few years ago because of that, and obviously Malcolm Young has sadly passed away now as well. But they've got a new album just released at the end of last year, I think it was.
Right.
Or early this year, I can't remember now.
Speaking of artists going deaf, have you seen the film Metal Sound?
No.
Do it. Honestly, do it. It's absolutely brilliant. Yes, on Amazon Prime in a minute. So
I've seen the trailer, actually.
It's absolutely...
Sound of Metal, isn't it?
The Sound of Metal or Metal Sound or something.
The Sound of Metal, yeah.
Yeah. Watch it. It is fucking brilliant. It's I want to say Riz Ahmed. I think that's his name.
Yeah, he's really good. He's been loads.
He's fantastic. And yeah, I couldn't praise it more. It's a brilliant film. So if you haven't seen it and want a new sort of rock music, metal music film to watch, crack on with that.
There's a lot of people suggesting Green Day in this list, but there's a lot of people also not happy with the idea of Green Day. I mean, I'd quite happily go and watch Green Day, would you?
Oh, definitely. I'm actually quite... They're doing, was it the Hella Mega Tour with Weezer and Fall Out Boy.
Oh, brilliant.
And I'd have loved to have gone to that. I think I was a bit too late to try and book tickets for it. But again, yeah, but Green Day, they were massive when we were all younger. And yeah, I'd absolutely love to see them.
Any of these suggestions on this list jumping out at you, Dave?
Sue Winnington says Scorpions, Ghost, and Taiketo.
I wondered if you'd pick that one up.
I know. Do you know what? I had a feeling he would.
Big Ghost. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been a big topic on the forums and stuff whether they're big enough to headline, but maybe in a couple of years, because they're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger compared to where they started, and they'd be a perfect fit for Download as well.
I think so too.
whilst this is a hot topic regarding the likes of Ghost and the other upcoming bands, Parkway Drive, Bring Me the Horizon, Architects, I think all the bands that I've mentioned need to do what Parkway Drive did in 2018, smash the second stage, and then go up to that higher either sub main stage slot or actually a main stage headliner slot. A lot of people disagree with me, thinking they deserve it now, but I think you need to give them a little bit more time. Whilst
probably headline, like you say, headline the second stage, or at least be sub to someone else like Iron Maiden or someone similar.
Well, again, Ghost have already supported Metallica and headlined Bloodstock. Parkway Drive have headlined Bloodstock and actually smashed it out of the park. So we know for a fact they can perform to at least a 20,000 person crowd. Obviously, Twickenham's bigger than the Bloodstock festival, but still, it shows they can do it. It's whether or not Andy Coppin is willing to take the gamble and do it sooner rather than later. And we don't want them to unfortunately, end up likes of Korn, who should have headlined when they were huge. I mean, in the 90s and the early 2000s, when they were huge, instead of now, they are your safe, reliable sub-slot on the main stage.
Oscar Brewster is suggesting Queens of the Stone Age, Faith No More, and Iron Maiden, which I think is quite a solid headline lineup.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely.
Nice, variety.
Yeah, again, another solid suggestion. Queens of Stone Age are actually at Reading and Leeds this year. So if you've got a ticket, you lucky devils.
You're lucky devils.
Faith No More have headlined before, I think. They did it with 2009. Again, they're the who subbed them, Limp Bizkit and Korn. But yeah, I mean, Faith No More definitely have the ability to headline. But again, massive band in the 90s and late 80s. And obviously, Iron Maiden, they're headline in 2022.
Nazim Bayram is suggesting Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, Idols, and Pearl Jam.
I hope Frank Carter gets re-announced for next year.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed on that.
I mean, I don't really see them as a headline act, to be honest, but maybe I'm mistaken. I mean, I don't know how big their following is, to be honest, but I really rate them. I think they're great.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I got my fingers crossed for them to be back onto the lineup as well. Like Gojira and potentially the Offspring. I agree with you that the slot they've been given, I think, is absolutely perfect. You get an hour long on the main stage in front of potentially upwards of 60,000 people, depending on obviously if anybody else is at the other stages. But I've watched a couple of his shows in Ali Pali on YouTube, and he holds a crowd brilliantly.
Yeah, I've seen one or two performances and been very impressed, actually. I'd definitely go and watch them. But I think the thing when you're Andy Copping is you've got to think, what's going to sell 100,000 tickets?
And this is what people don't seem to take consideration when their favourite bands don't get announced. Again, he's announcing, he's giving us bands that we know can sell 100,000 tickets. Again, it's why I want Metallica back, because we know they can sell. They sold out Twickenham and the Etihad Stadium in Manchester, so you know they can. And if they were willing to come back to a festival slot, again, Download, hopefully be the perfect one. Don't want them at Glastonbury. Don't want them at Reading and Leeds, purely because I won't be able to get a ticket for them. Download, for me, would be the perfect place to have them. It's like, again, AC/DC. I mean, you go back to 2010, you could sell the festival out with the likes of AC/DC.
Foo Fighters, for God's sake. Foo Fighters!
Oh, Christ, yes, absolutely. Did you... Oh, this is one thing I wanted to talk about, actually. Did you see on Facebook, the forums, Reddit, everywhere, that fake lineup that got... that someone thought they'd seen?
I saw that, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. That was just... I mean, that was just drama.
For anyone who didn't see that, what did it consist of?
Okay, so someone did a mock-up of it later on in the day, but I think it's basically someone said they had seen, or their wife had seen.
Their wife had seen.
Yeah, this is where it lost all credibility. The minute he said, "Oh, my wife's quite good at this," she saw, and I thought, okay, cool. You could have said your cousin's brother's dog had seen it, and I still wouldn't have believed you. He'd said that Biffy Clyro had moved into a sub-slot with Iron Maiden, and that Muse or Foo Fighters was now doing the Sunday slot. Now, as amazing as that would be, either Foo Fighters or Muse being there, it was just so unrealistic.
Why do people make this stuff up?
Because we're talking about it. That's all it is. It could be for the lols.
For attention.
Yeah, exactly. This person was absolutely so adamant that it was going to happen until the announcement was then made about the announcement coming in the day after. He even said, "Oh, I can't wait to see if there's going to be egg on everybody's faces that told me this was wrong." And I was just like, mate, I'm that confident. I will tattoo the Download dog on my backside.
People do that anyway, to be fair.
They do, but again, I haven't got a tattoo on my body. And I'll tell you, here's something you're gonna laugh at. I told my wife I was going to do it, and she said, "No, you're fucking not." I was like, "Ah." But
Why can't you have a Download dog on your ass? I think that's a nice tribute.
I don't think she'd be too happy seeing a dog on my bum.
But it's Download dog.
Yeah, we've all got different feelings about Download.
Oh,
that's the thing.
What, well, how many people are going to see your ass?
Wouldn't you like to know?
there's a list.
100,000 people.
And this is the moment I plug my OnlyFans.
Oh my
Kidding, I don't have one
yet. So that about wraps up the show for this episode. Thanks for taking part in answering those questions for us. It was a hot topic, but we have got another question for you. I want to ask you, what's the best act that you have seen at Download? Feel free to @ us, mention us, tell us however you want to tell us. We're very chatty on the social media. Just look for us by searching for FestPod. And tell us your favourite act, who you've seen at Download. Who was the best? Who was the most flashy? The most pyrotechnic-y? I love pyrotechnics, mate. I've not seen Rammstein for ages. When were they last on?
2016.
Oh my god, is it that long?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Anyway, so if you want to listen to any of the previous guides, go to festpod.co.uk. There's a full list of guides to Download Festival. Go for your life. So that's it. We'll catch you next time. Bye. A Wilco Productions podcast.
You bastards.